Decentral Gamer podcast, where we're here to help you become better gamers, become a more close, tight knit community here in the DG ecosystem, and to have a lot of fun while we're doing it. So, welcome to the show. Today, we have Mr. Eth Rome, a gentleman who is approaching this in such a fascinating way. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and just the approach you're taking is amazing. First of all, welcome to the show, and would love to hear your story.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you to the whole DG team. It's definitely a project worth checking out. So, yeah, so about this project, I was telling Ben that we were first part of DG early December, and we were trying to get into the NFT space. Everything was blowing up, and then a couple of friends just started buying. So we felt left out, but turns out all those projects were rug pulls, and they lost everything. So we started curating a little bit more of the projects, and we stumbled upon a YouTube video that talked about poker in the metaverse, where you can win money in cryptocurrency. So we were, all right, let's check it out. We went into the website, joined the Discord, and then we saw like there's 40,000 people in the Discord. They're talking about it. It's a great community, and everyone wants this project to succeed. So let's buy the NFT. And then in the announcement page, it was like the NFTs tomorrow. See you guys there. So we were like, all right, so what's next? And then the whole process, Polygon, buying the DGs, XDGs, and then being ready to mint was definitely a learning curve, but it was really fun. And then the day came of the mint. If you guys been in that day, it's really stressful because you don't know what's going to happen. And then do you refresh? Do you not refresh? What are you going to do? So we clicked the button, and it was just spinning 30 seconds, and we got our first NFT. We didn't really grasp how big of a deal this was going to be. We were like, okay, so we got some kicks in the metaverse, and let's see what happens. So we started playing that same day, and then we learned about the 3 objectives. We actually learned how to play poker. We weren't even really experienced poker players. And we realized, the amount of money you can make in DG, it's more money than most people make in regular jobs in Latin America. We're from Mexico City, so we realized this project can change people's lives, and we got to tell people about it. We got to get our community involved. And I know a lot of gamers who have their steady job, and they game on the side for a hobby. Some of them stream, but now they can actually get paid for it. And I also know a lot of poker players that just, every Thursday they go play poker, and then some online poker tournaments. So this is like perfect for them, and they can actually make money without like investing, because you play with fake chips. So the next challenge was, how am I going to sell this without sounding like a scam? You make money with fake chips. So we started the whole awareness initiative, and we've been, so we want to educate people in Latin America about these new technologies like Web3, blockchain, and play to earn projects like DG. And we've done Zoom calls with more than 50 people to teach them the basics, from what are NFTs, what are cryptocurrencies, how to create a Web3 wallet on MetaMask, what is DG, how to be part of DG, and then when you're part of DG, how to play ice poker. So we realized we can allow players to be part of Decentral Games without having to initially buy their own NFT. And that's a really big deal, because these players don't want to risk that amount of money on a project they don't know that's going to work, and they don't know, it's the first time they've been involved in a Web3 project. So that's when we come in, and we're like, we've gathered a couple wearables, and we want you guys to play. We want you to be part of it. And if we ever get whitelisted with this account, we're going to give it to you guys, and we're going to help you finance your first NFT. And then we'll help you manage your wearable. So we want you to become from a player to an owner, and create this community of the metaverse in Latin America. We have players from Argentina, Mexico, Venezuela, and we want to keep growing. So then we realized, here's a problem we have. Decentraland needs powerful computers, and a lot of people don't have. They have like 2 gigabytes of RAM, and that's not enough for Decentraland. So we're also launching a project to help them finance their computers, so they can play and be part of this initiative, these projects. So it's definitely really cool. DG is definitely even changing lives, and we really want to be a part of it.
That's amazing. So not only did you guys start off just a couple of months ago, but now you have moved to a spot where you're literally changing lives by giving you're not just giving somebody a fish, you're teaching them how to fish. The old adage as it goes, you're educating people on blockchain, you're educating people on web3, you're helping them get into the new international monetary system of crypto and blockchain. And then you're helping to finance their journey into the earning side of that with DG. And then you're helping to give them computers and the hardware and technology they need to actually be able to participate. That's incredible. And it all came from what you guys saw within DG and what the opportunity was. What was your thought as like why you chose to go that route? I mean, that's an amazing route. I think it's incredible. And to me, I think it's a really, really important route. And I think y'all are carving out such a cool way to do it that I think a lot of people are going to learn from you guys. How was that just what you thought of first? Like, how'd you come to those decisions to do that?
Yeah, definitely. So we actually were talking about, you can see the difference how the US especially, they've been doing, cash, credit cards, and then cryptocurrencies, and it's been a smooth transition. I really don't know the percentage of Americans with bank accounts, but in Mexico City and Latin America, more than 50% of Mexicans don't have a bank account. We
Wow.
haven't. It's incredible, and we haven't done that change from cash to credit card and now cryptocurrencies. So we actually feel that the next step is skipping a bank and going full Web3. And I think countries in Latin America are really close to making that step because bank accounts with the economy, most of it being informal, is not making sense. But cryptocurrencies is finally making sense. So we realized this is a trend that's happening. There's a company in Mexico called Bitso. It was the first unicorn, and it's a cryptocurrency company. And they're doing that. They're helping people create a wallet where you can store Bitcoin for the first time. And we want to be part of that trend. We want to help them now start earning in cryptocurrency, skip the whole system and just start earning directly into cryptocurrencies and have their wallet and be part of this new momentum initiative and be the first ones to like capture it and cultivate it. We have a lot of talent here in Latin America, and I feel they can really exploit this in a good way. So that's why we realized the amount of potential this has and why we need to be part of helping people be part of this wave, get that initiative and teach them. It's not that hard. Once you get the gist of it, you're going to start doing things that are even greater than we think it's possible. So that's what we're trying to do.
That's amazing. So you saw the progression of the financial system in the US, cash to credit to crypto, and the where you guys thought what you could find your edge is you see this playing out in your neighborhoods and in Latin America, and you're thinking basically it will probably move instead of going so heavy on the credit side from cash, it'll probably go more cash to crypto and almost skip that intermediate step. And so you want to front run that wave and get there and help be a champion of the people and equip them to be able to take advantage of that and bring everybody into this new world and new paradigm, basically.
Definitely. That's exactly. You can see the trend, especially in remittances from especially Mexican families in the US sending money back to Mexico. They're now doing it through cryptocurrencies because you skip
Mm,
all the fees, and it's decentralized projects that are allowing these kind of financial freedoms. So that's where it all kind of gets born, and we realize that's the tendency people are going to.
that's incredible. How? how important is a vehicle like Ice Poker and DG to this transformation? The reason I'm asking is because obviously the wave of Web3 and crypto is coming. I don't think anybody can say with any amount of seriousness that it's going to go away or it's just a fad. Like I think we as the greater crypto community have proven that like we're here to stay. How important though is it to have earning mechanisms like DG being part of that? Because it seems to me like it's a very important part. And it kind of, that kind of led y'all down this path. But if there's no way to earn, it makes it more difficult. But how do you see DG playing in the greater ecosystem of this revolution?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm all with you, Ben. Play to earn projects like Digi are definitely the future. And DG is so special because it's one of the first, and I could literally say only legit, I can think of five, and Digi is definitely top one, legit play to earn projects that are actually succeeding. And it's poker, everyone across the world knows how to play poker. And I know, a lot of people that play poker in their spare time, and this is a way to actually monetize it by having fun because you take the gambling side out of it. That's really important because most of the poker we know is gambling and people get a lot of stress, and this is just having fun. Get those objectives cleared out, get that straight three times and you're set. You're winning that ice in your Web3 wallet and it's there. So it's like the first real project we've seen with a great community, so that's why we think it's just beginning and it's about to grow. And the mobile version sounds unbelievable. So when that comes, it's gonna even people say, I'm too late to in Digi. And I keep telling them, you're so early, man. It's still early. I mean, it's still in a beta. So it's definitely that's why it's really meaningful and important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. So when you're thinking about long term and positioning yourself, how are you thinking your role is going to be? Like, do you just want to create, because you're basically creating a guild and then helping to finance the players in your guild and equip them so they can play and earn? So, do you see that as like where you really want to go and how you best want to position what you're doing? Or is there something else after that that you're looking to where this is kind of like a middle step to get there or something? Like, how do you view this?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually we know, and I'm sure you also do, Ben, that the potential in decentralized projects and Web3 is unbelievable. So we're trying to do step by step, knowing that the final project can be something completely different to what we're doing today. It can even be our own platform, our own decentralized platform. That would be really cool. Everything managed by smart contracts. That'd be incredible. But we try to take a small step first by creating a community in Latin America, especially that knows about this tendency, this Web3, and we feel that it's gonna be the birth of many new projects. And play to earn projects, especially, are what's interesting to us because, like I said, it's meaningful money you're earning. So we want to create this guild, this community that can play across the metaverse, start earning, and that's their main job, and they're having fun, and the possibilities are endless. We can become a fully decentralized organization with smart contracts, or we can become our own NFT project, or we can become a nonprofit who helps spread awareness. So there's many routes we can take, but right now we're focusing on getting the most players into this new tendency. And we've actually we caught the attention of other ICE NFT owners who are delegating their wearables to us, and because we have a great pool of players ready to play, and it's difficult to find a good delegate. We with our first wearables, we tried delegates, and a couple of them were just really mean, and then some of them would just disappear. And now we have a pool of players that's just they're waiting for the next NFT available to start playing right away. and that's something of value. And you can see it creates a community that's excited about this new trend. So there's definitely a lot of places we can grow, but right now we're focusing on trying to establish this community and spread awareness.
I love that. So let's talk through the training mechanism of when somebody comes to you and they're like, okay, we've heard about the metaverse, we a little bit understand blockchain and crypto, we're not quite sure, getting them from step 0 all the way to where they're at the tables hitting their multiples. Like, what's that process? How do you bring them from start to finish?
Yeah, so it was definitely fun and challenging at the same time. That first Zoom call, it was around 40 people, and it was about an hour and a half long because we didn't know where to start. You know, we started screen sharing how it is to play ice poker, and everyone was like, "Wait a second, where are you even playing this?" You know, and we were like, "Oh, the metaverse. What's the metaverse? Oh, yeah, yeah, but you earn in ice crypto. Oh, what's crypto? You know, and where do you get the money? Where's the wallet? You know, what's MetaMask?" So we realized we have to deconstruct and start all the way from the bottom because we have people who are pros in cryptocurrencies in the same group and people who have never heard about cryptocurrencies. So we started explaining the whole momentum of Web3, you know, decentralized organizations, smart contracts, and that brings us to blockchain. And we found a pretty cool site, I forget the name, that explains blockchain really well. And that's like the first step. And then cryptocurrencies, it's a way of monetizing projects in the blockchain. And then there's different types of blockchain. Ethereum is the most famous, you know, and then what are cryptocurrencies? How do you get them to you? What wallets do you use? What's the difference between a centralized wallet and a decentralized wallet? And how are you going to get paid? And then wait a second, if I cash that, do I pay taxes? So that was definitely another question. And so once we got that out of the way, then we realized, okay, now that you know about this, there's now a new trend called NFTs. And these, there are art NFTs that just offer value because people put a value in them, and just like an art piece works. And then there are NFTs that actually serve a purpose. You know, Gary Vee's opening a restaurant in New York where the purpose of that NFT is a pass to that restaurant. And that's when we told them we think the future is play to earn NFTs, where you have an NFT that actually makes money for you while you play with it. And that's when we saw people's eyes light up, like, what do you mean? You know, and that's when we got the engagement skyrocket, and that's when we started screen sharing. So okay, so now you're at the poker table, you have that NFT, you get your 3,000 chips, and now we're going to start playing. And these small three objectives in the bottom right corner are what's going to pay you, and you can make $50 a day on an average day, you know. So that was like the whole kind of tendency we saw in teaching and spreading that awareness, and it's been working out. We still have to streamline it a little bit, make it more simple and easy to digest, but that's how we're doing it.
That's amazing. So, if I understand, you're basically getting people and you have an inflow of new wearables and NFTs, and obviously everybody's trying to get as many as they possibly can right now because we are so early. And
Hmm.
then you're basically training players, and so whenever you get new NFTs in the door, you automatically have players that are ready to go and they're trained, and you're now starting to think about how to provide them with more hardware so they can play better. So that's amazing. Now, you mentioned earlier you're also teaching them how to play and then eventually become their own owner themselves and have their own guild mechanism of some sort. Like, are you then like, how does that work with your system? Are you thinking they want to get their wearables and then they want to delegate and you can then help them delegate also, and so it's really like a self-fulfilling cycle there?
That's what we're aiming for. We want them to become owners and have a great experience as a player with us, so they want to delegate their wearable to us. And so it's kind of like a organic growth, exponential growth. that's what we're trying to make, and we're trying to give a good positive attitude towards our players, so when they become owners, they actually delegate to us. So and they're really excited about becoming an owner, and we've actually talked about different schemes. You can be an owner with three of your buddies. You don't have to put the whole money yourself, or we can help you finance your first NFT purchase. So we're trying to find different ways where they can become the owner, and it's working out. It's We're still early. It's still pretty early to see if it's going to be a success, but we hope it will be.
I love that. So when you're thinking about this transition from player to owner, maybe talk a little bit more about the importance of that, both for the individual and what the opportunity is for the individual, and then maybe you can then talk about the importance of that transition to the DG ecosystem and why that's just so important for everybody.
Definitely. Actually, the whole idea of this came from DG when the first whitelist was given to consistent players. And that's when we realized they have a point. We have to promote players that are consistent and are dedicated to DG to become owners. There's a reason why DG is doing it, so we should probably focus on that too. And we realize, people that are just flipping the NFTs are not creating long-term value for the DG ecosystem in a sense. And we want them to stick long term and give that opportunity to become owner to those consistent, dedicated players. So, in a player standpoint, it changes their lives in a sense that they can start their own guild, and they earn more money, and it's passive. It's fully passive because they can still play with someone else's NFT, and their own NFT is playing for themselves. So that's what's really interesting, because some of them haven't left their jobs. It's normal, and now this is a way for their NFT to passively make money without them doing anything. So that's, in a player sense, that's how it's changing their lives. And in the DG ecosystem, we're making players, we're giving DG players that are consistent and dedicated to making this project grow and continue.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it makes sense because the the more consistent you are, the more you can really contributing to the ecosystem, and it's the people who are active and contributing and playing and then leveling up and becoming owners, like that's what it's all about, because you're then contributing more to the ecosystem, and it's better for everybody. And just as an individual person, you're moving up in the world. Like you're going from trading time for money to then now you also are building assets, and you can make your money work for you as well. Like that is a serious upward mobility from a financial sense. I mean, that's amazing.
Definitely. It's amazing. I mean, every personal finance class just teaches you get the most assets you can so you can make money while you sleep. Well, this is a way to do it in the Web3 tendency. So that's the beauty of these projects. It's a way to have those. It's like having a real estate in the and you collect rent, which is something you can actually do in Web3 now. So it's incredible.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about where you see play and earn, the metaverse, and DG as well. Like, where do you see this all going? What's going to happen in the future, and how can we best be prepared for it?
That's a great question. And I think it can grow to a sense that anyone can do what they actually love. Now there's ways to earn money making and doing what you love. And for example, the DG mobile version. I mean, if you think about it, you can actually be on the subway just playing and earning while you're usually bored or listening to music. So that's a transformation I think where most of us aren't ready for but are excited for, because most of the boring jobs are gonna probably disappear because you can make money in a very fun way with these new Web3 tendencies, and you're your own boss. I mean, so it's definitely, when you think about it, it can get a little scary because you think, well, now no one's going to want to do those boring jobs, but it's definitely the future. And there will be solutions for the other, those jobs we're gonna find a solution, probably automate it. But the fun thing is that more people are gonna do what they love in the future, and they're gonna make money, and they're gonna live comfortably doing what they love with these new Web3 projects like DG.
I love that. It makes me think of how much bigger the pie can really get, because we still have people in the world who don't have access to internet. Like, they're literally, wait, even beyond that, people don't even have access to electricity worldwide yet. So there are still so many people that haven't joined the global economy, and we're thinking that it's too late, that we missed the boat for something like this. Like, we're right now, if you're listening to this show and you're participating in any way, shape, or form, you're easily in, I'd say, the top 0.5% of the global population. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, but think about how early we are still. Like, that's what blows my mind about this whole thing.
It's incredible. I tell you, like, people tell me I'm so late to this. I think it's too late. I'm just gonna see how it turns out. I'm like, no, you're so early, man. I mean, of course, we're in a wave that's also a little dangerous. There's a lot of scams out there, and one of the things we're trying to teach people is please be careful of all the scams out there. You can lose everything in 1 second, and that's what's scary about this momentum. And we're so early that these scams are so easy to fall into, because everything, you don't know what's legit. So, but the other thing is, there's going to be a couple bubbles, and there's going to be winters, and that's okay, because, like, Vitalik, I think, just said, the crypto community welcomes another winter, because then we're going to have long-term projects that are actually useful, and the people who stay during those winters are going to be the long-term players. And we're so early that there's a bunch of bubbles, winters. And if we stick together and we focus on the projects with long-term results, we're going to end up on top in the next 5 years. And it's still going to be early. This is, like you said, some people don't have electricity, internet, and we're talking about the next 10 years. And so today it's even crazy to think you're late.
That's right. That's right. So for people who are first getting started, and maybe they haven't been delegated to, they haven't purchased their own wearable, let's give some advice to them, and like help them get up to speed. Like, what's the number one thing they should be doing, and how do they go about doing that?
Definitely. I think there's some great Twitter accounts that you should follow, and just try sticking to people who are legit. Start following the founder of Ethereum. He's a great guy, and he knows what's up. So start with that guy, and he's going to start retweeting a couple of interesting tweets. Follow those two. And that's one way you can make sure you're sticking to projects that are legit. And then read a lot. There's a lot of books out there. There's the Blockchain Revolution book. It's really great, and it's going to give you the fundamentals about what this new technology is, and how projects in this new technology can succeed. And so read. Twitter is a great platform for this. And then join discords of projects are legit. Be careful with that, because there are a lot of projects that are scams, and there might be 100,000 people in the Discord, but that doesn't make it legit. So please be careful. Read the roadmap, the white paper, and make sure everything makes sense in a financial matter. So that's 3 ways you can start getting into. And then YouTube is a great platform to just start getting into, just what are the best NFT projects. And I think there's a guy called Andrew Jick. He's great. He'll give you great ideas on where to start. And, you know, stop everything and start doing DG. That's the best place to start. It's legit, it's fun, and there's going to be a next mint. So be part of it. Try to get that Discord, try to talk to players, try to talk to owners, and see what's happening. That would be, I think, the first step you should take. Try this new project that's working out and try to become a member. And then everything, you're going to be immersed in this new tendency, and you're going to start figuring out the other things.
So is that how you got up to speed? Was you started just learning and reading and watching videos and joining crypto Twitter? Like, how did you get up to speed in this whole craziness?
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. I was taking a computer science class, and our teacher brought in a guest a couple years ago. It was around 2016, and he told us, "Forget everything you know, and the new wave is blockchain." That was the first time I heard blockchain. I was like, "Dude, what is that?" And he really emphasized, "Really, this is the new wave. This is the new tendency. Make sure you stay on top of it." And so my brother and I started researching it, and we started reading, and we read this book, The Deep Blockchain Revolution, smart contracts. That was the thing that popped out the most, how you can just execute smart contracts with no one working on it. And then and then we bought Bitcoin, and then it just grew exponentially, and then it crashed, and then we were like, okay, we learned, and then we bought Ethereum, and then we started reading tweets, the community, and then NFTs around a year and a half ago started blowing up. So we just kept reading. We didn't buy any, and just started seeing that a lot of people were getting scammed. But then we caught this video about DG, and we bought our first wearable. And we were really lucky that our first shot was a legit project. So that's how we came up to speed, reading, watching YouTube videos, and being part of communities, talking to friends, and sharing ideas.
I love that. I love that. So I want to talk a little bit more about this idea of upward mobility through crypto and through Web3 and crypto gaming and DG. Um, for some people are probably listening and they're like, "My goodness, you've built something so cool, and you're building a platform. You're literally changing lives for an entire region of the world." And clearly, you're entrepreneurial in nature, and you're doing some amazing things. Not everybody has that same um, desire to go out and build an organization like you're doing. So what are just other ways that you're seeing people be able to participate and really take advantage of this wave? I mean, is it be just a player, or is it try to level up to be an owner, or join a team or something? Like, what are some other ways people can get more involved, and definitely staying within the lens of like DG, but the just in the metaverse in general, of like mental models of how to think about it also.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say the most important thing is just taking action. Whatever you do, just start, and that's going to take you somewhere. Because if you just keep reading and just keep looking at the news, and this new NFT project went down, and the news, they love to exaggerate everything, so they're gonna probably bring you down. So just start and join the community. In the DG standpoint, it's a great way to start, because get someone to delegate you, become a player, or even go to the casino and play with the fake chips. Just get a gist of how it works. What's the poker metaverse industry like? The gameplay, and then probably just buy a couple, like manas, and spend $10 in the real DG casino, and see, just start, and start exploring Decentraland, and you're gonna be way ahead, like, than 90% of the people if you just start. And then join the Discord, talk to owners, talk to players in the general channel. Just put your thoughts. The DG guys, they keep us posted on everything. That's pretty cool. Join the newsletter and become a player. And if you can become an owner, definitely, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I love that. So when you're thinking about getting into the community and talking to people, like, what do you say? How do you even go about doing that? I feel like that is for sure the way, is to like go in and make friends and stuff, but that could be a little intimidating for some people. So like, what would be the way that you would suggest people go about doing that?
Definitely. So I would say the general channel is where everyone just keeps talking. And if you put whatever you think is too dumb, or it's, believe me, it's not too dumb, and everyone's posting whatever they're thinking, just start posting. Someone might reply to you. And if someone replies to you, make sure to shoot them a DM and start talking about DG? You know, what's your experience? How you've been playing? What do you think about the project? And just keep getting engaged. Someone will reply and ask questions. You, I know you might have a lot of questions, so ask them, and maybe someone from the DG team will answer, and that's pretty cool. Um, I would say don't be intimidated. Everything's anonymous, so just be yourself. Ask the questions you really think, and start talking to people. Shoot them DMs. Get out of your comfort zone.
I love it. I love it. So we have a couple questions coming in the chat here, and I want to quickly just give shout outs to everybody watching live: Chris, Austin, Clyde, Chris Samore, Austin Samore, Danilo. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your name right. Akina. Just want to show some love to the people with us live. We did have a really good question from Austin. Um, any tips for finding the best delegates? He has a couple wearables, or Austin has a couple wearables. So just want to see if you had any thoughts to share.
Yeah, definitely. So we actually we do a couple of boot camps, 5-day boot camps to try out the delegates and see if they're good, you know. And 5 days in a boot camp makes those delegates eager to become the best. You kind of ignite that passion for them. So I would recommend do that. Try, give them a 5-day tryout and see if it works out. And if it doesn't, it's just 5 days and keep looking. I would say please look at Break Gaming. We have players ready to use wearables. So if you're interested in that, also that would be pretty cool. And that's what I would recommend.
Sweet. So it seems like put together some sort of test or trial period or something and just see how they perform, and then throw them in the fire, see how they, what sort of yield they're able to generate, and then just kind of let the results speak for themselves.
Definitely. Oh, if I could add something too, a lot of people in the
Sure.
Discord, they shoot up. I guarantee 1.7 every day. We all know that's not true. So just take the people who are most honest about their work, and you're gonna realize those are the most consistent gamers.
Perfect. So I wanna make sure we have some folks in the chat asking. I want to put your Twitter handle up here. It's just at Breck Gaming up on the screen real quick, and that's the Twitter account. So I feel like folks can go from there. Um,
Thank you, Ben.
yeah, absolutely. Just want to make sure everybody gets their questions answered. What's up, by the way, Oliver? And thanks again, Akina, for asking questions. So yeah, I want to be very respectful of your time here. I know you're doing an amazing job and helping a lot of people here. So I want to let you get back to it. But let's end the show here with a bit of alpha. We've been talking a bunch. I know you've shared a lot, but maybe just some life alpha of like you've obviously been doing an amazing job putting yourself in an amazing position in life just to succeed and take advantage of the metaverse and really be a mover and shifter of the world. Like, what's some life alpha you can share with us and for people who are looking to change their lives?
Yeah, I'll be happy to share. I think the most important thing is just start. I can't emphasize the importance of just starting on whatever it is you like. Just start and take baby steps, and it will lead you, believe me, to something real. And if it's Web3, just make sure you start. Join whatever it is you think is new, interesting, and starting will put you ahead of 90% of the people. So I would say follow your curiosity, but execute on that curiosity, and you probably end up with a cool project. Our project was built by accident. We didn't plan it. We just started. We bought our first wearable, and it's trying to become a community. So that's my advice.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate you coming on the show today, man. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, looking forward to see where your journey takes you in the organization you're building. Think it'll be really exciting to maybe have you back on a couple months, maybe a year, and just see the progression. So it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you, Ben. I'll keep you posted.
Absolutely. And for everybody else watching and listening, remember, we here at the Decentral Gamer podcast, meaning myself and all the guests and yourselves, because you're all part of it. We're a big family, we're a big community, and the power of this whole thing that we're doing is because we stick together. So just remember that. So maybe show some love to some of your fellow Decentral Gamers in the Discord, and yeah, we're gonna make it. So thank you again, at ETH Rome. Make sure to go check out and say hi on Twitter and in the Discord, and see you all in the next episode. Take care now.
Ben, thank you. Have a nice day.